Hey peeps, welcome back to Catchy Virus. I decided to make a Tudor home. This video will be for the exterior design of the house, and I'll be creating another video for the interior design. So, let's get into it. With every build I make, I try my hardest to avoid making the house into a box, which is rich coming from me because I do a ton of modern houses, and they all are just honestly boxes. But I do try to make them less boxy. For this build, I'm doing that by having a big old fireplace and chimney. Another great way to do this for a Tudor house would be to make the second level kind of overhang. A lot of my reference pictures for this build had their second levels coming out further than the first floor. This can help give the build a more distinct look to it. Another feature to Tudor homes would be the bay windows. This aspect reminds me of the older homes in Toronto. They always have a front part that protrudes from the building, like part of my build next to the garage. Trying to find the perfect brick was a bit hard. I favor a few wall swatches more than the other ones, and I find that I always use them, which then makes all my builds sort of blend into each other. I think I found the perfect wall colors for this house though. I mean, they're kind of also the same ones I always use, but hey, it doesn't matter. I love adding that wall trim to the lower floor. It looks like the extended part of the second level has support to it. The design of the one I used also makes it look more medieval, which is cool. I want to use this window so badly. I was afraid it wasn't going to work because of the fact that the roof on the window doesn't connect to the actual roof. I think that was an oversight when I designed that window, to be honest. And so I tried to make a way to get around that to make it look like it's actually a part of the roof. And you'll see what I do. Okay. When picking windows, I tried to ensure that they all match in a way. But I also want different windows. If I picked the same window for each and every wall, I think the house would look overwhelmingly plain and similar in a very underwhelming way. A little too matchy if you know what I mean. I love the use of hedges in my builds. I love the green color and the fact that they're fences. It's like a win-win situation for the design, and for me. Weirdly enough, there was an odd glitch that was happening here. I've never experienced that before, where parts of the fence disappeared. I end up fixing it later on, but it was weird and annoying to look at when I didn't fix it. Like, it just kept glitching out, and I didn't like it. A good portion of this video will be dedicated to landscaping. Landscaping in The Sims, much like real life, takes time. The best approach would be to figure out what color scheme you want and where the gardens will go first. For this build in particular, I wanted a large garden bed at the front of the house. I have a garden in real life that is lined with large rocks, so I wanted to mimic that here. And I think I found the perfect spot for it. It's just like, what else will be going here? And like, nothing. I think a key aspect to making a good looking garden would be having various sizes of plants. So tall ones, round ones, low laying ones. It is very important to play with the sizes of the actual plant itself, too. In real life, not all plants will be perfectly uniformed and look the exact same. There's different sizes, shapes, and looks. Since it's a game, Mother Nature can't work her magic and make each plant unique looking. So, I have to do her job for her. By playing with the sizes of the actual plants, it'll make your Sims gardens look natural. I like to scatter smaller versions of the same plant within the gardens, especially in front of other ones, like the taller or bigger plants. You'll see a lot of examples of me playing with the individual sizes of the plants throughout these landscaping portions of the video. Another good tip would be to fill in corners. I find that in real life, there's normally something happening in garden corners. That sounds kind of weird, but I hope it makes sense. Whether it be long grass or flowers, there's just always something happening in the corner. But don't ever put baby in the corner. Okay? I knew I wanted a side path on this build. I thought having a nice garden walkway would help this house become more alive with the sound of music. Before placing the plants down in the side garden area, I painted in with dirt where I envisioned the plants going. Doing this can help you decide where to place objects and make the process faster. It's kind of like pre-planning, That always helps out. That always makes it go good and help you with life, and yeah. It's always a good idea to continue using plants you've already used in other parts of the lot. Having the same objects sprinkled throughout makes the build look more put together and cohesive. I'm very glad I did the side garden because I think it makes the house look less boxy. How you design the garden or landscaping will definitely affect the overall look of the build. I think that's a good thing to remember when planning out a build in general. Another tip would be to play with the landscape tool. Making the lot bumpy will create a realistic look. If you look around in real life, not every single lot is perfectly flat. Some have natural slopes or hills, little bumps or whatnot to them. That's why it's important to play with the landscaping tools in The Sims. Also, don't forget to paint with the paint tool. Having various looking dirts and grasses and other aspects to the painted ground will also help give your build a more natural and realistic look to it. One thing I can't do without would be rocks. I actually wish they would give us more rocks to play with. Scattering the rocks throughout the landscape definitely, well in my opinion, makes the build look realistic. Rocks are everywhere in real life, and also in all of my builds in The Sims. Honestly though, having little rocks, I always size down the rocks. Most of my rocks don't stay the same size that comes in the build catalog. I size them down because it does look really good, and I like to scatter them especially in front of bushes and trees and other plants that are bigger. I think it just is so good, okay? Try it. This is a little off topic, but I'm very interested in how landscaping will look in Paralives. I know they've already confirmed 3D grass lengths, which is amazing. I am so excited for 3D grass. And I want to see how gardens will look and what plants and flowers will look like. I want them to release more content. I want to see everything. I'm very excited about that game and the possibilities it brings. Now, I'm going back through the garden sections and just adding more in some areas that I think look empty or lacking. It's important to always review what you've already done and try to figure out if you can do more. If I don't do multiple look-throughs of my previously done areas in my builds, I think they look half done. Even if I get tired of the build or whatnot, I think it's important to go back through and to add more. If you are getting too tired to build or to add more objects to your building or your house lot, maybe it's time to take a break, move on to another building a lot, or take an actual break and get off the game and then come back to it. Going back to a build after a long haul session is really good for adding more detail. I mean, unless you already have a lot going for it, you don't want to clutter it, but more is better, especially for landscaping and gardening. And for adding life, it makes it look lived in, you know? I love that hedge archway in front of the front door, but I think this wooden looking gazebo type thing adds character to the build. It gives it a dimension it was lacking in the front. I love adding little rocks and grass and plants around the bottoms of trees in The Sims. I think it adds to the trees and makes it look extra natural. If you have any questions regarding landscaping or gardening in The Sims, ask me in the comment section. I'd love to help out other Simmers. If you have any tips or tricks that you use, please leave them in the comments for me. I like trying new techniques in my builds. If you want to see more gardening or landscaping videos, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to show the interior design of this house to you. See you next time. Bye!